Hello everybody and welcome to yet another episode of The Week in Tech. With me is my co-host Aisha Mustafa. Aisha, how are you doing?
Okay.
Very good. Aisha just attended her inaugural IAP conference, which is the International Advisory Panel Conference. So we'll get into that shortly, asking her how it was like. Meanwhile, we'll start off with the same traditional way we start the show. Of course, those of you who've been watching the show regularly, and I hope there's a lot of you out there. For the last 2 weeks, we've had people from industry come in and give their opinions on the budget, Aisha. I think you watched one of them at least, right? The week before, Wei from Redtone. You actually conducted that, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, great. And then last week was with me and Ko Lee Cheng from Team. So both pretty interesting discussions. And in fact, the president of the SMI Association, Chua Tiam Wee, caught the show and he said, "Hey, Karamjit, can we come on the show and share our views too?" So I said okay, because you want people to come on. Then I'm thinking, okay, this is mostly about technology. So now how do I go and tell Chua maybe it's not a suitable platform? But that's for me to worry about and balance that. But it's great. Chua, I'll still try to get you on the show at some point, all right? Talk about SME issues in terms of technology and innovation maybe, right, Aisha? So we can spin that angle. But meanwhile, let's talk about the cover story that's coming up for next week, which is on Toon Talk, which is the latest player in the MVNO space, mobile virtual network operator. They just launched somewhere around the Merdeka Day, which is in August, end of August this year. And the CEO, of course, is Jason Low. And I say, of course, because he's not from the industry, from the telco industry,
yeah.
Which is exactly what Tony said he didn't want. He didn't want someone from that industry. He wanted out of the box thinking, somebody who would be willing to take risk, and hire a gung ho group of people. And I guess you have to be gung ho if you want to go up against the likes of Packet One, Maxis, DG, and Celcom.
Yeah.
So he's got him out there. And Low says Toon Talk is targeting the primary phone market, which means people who are buying their first phones. And so far, initial response has been pretty good. He says they've got about 160,000 activations. With an average of 3,000 new subscribers a day, and the target is very lofty, 1 million, which is within a year of its launch. So
yeah,
it's a huge number. So we'll see how Jason Low manages to do that and to tap on AirAsia's brand equity and its customer base too, which obviously is something they're going to use. And going aside from that, the thing that he spoke about, which I didn't quite agree, was interesting. He said that MVNOs, Aisha, exist because incumbents know that the incumbents here, meaning your
DG, Celcom, and Maxis. Yeah, the power of three.
Yeah, the power of three in Malaysia says that these MVNOs exist because the incumbents know that if they want to focus on, for example, the Chinese segment, it's going to cost them lots of money. And interestingly enough, he said it could alienate their Malay segment too, which is their core subscriber base, which I find highly unlikely,
Oh no! I think the incumbent means the incumbent MVNO currently, which is
you've got
people like XOX
and Merchant Trade.
Yeah, I think XOX is targeting the Chinese market. Yeah.
Yeah. So you think?
So he thinks that there is a need for another MVNO in the space.
Targeting that same space. Okay. So I thought that was a bit strange. He thought it's going to alienate the Malay segment if you go after a new user market.
Oh, because these MVNOs always have their angle. Because of the power of three, they have to find little angles that they can go into.
So this is what they're doing. But it's interesting that they're looking at 1 million subscribers at the end of 1 year. But obviously they're looking beyond that. Like I said, they already said they're going to target the ASEAN region. People use AirAsia's network.
Yeah.
So definitely, like Doreen wrote the story and she ended up by saying that the MVNO space so far has not been interesting. But with Toon Talk in there, it's going to be an interesting space to watch out for now. So that's just like, Tony, any venture Tony gets into, he likes to spice things up.
Yeah, he does.
Hence the headline, spices up MVNO space. Anyway, enough of that. Now let's talk about IAP, your first IAP experience. Aisha, how was it like? And I think you met and interviewed some interesting IAP people too.
Yeah, I did. On the whole, I think it was, at least because it's the first one for me, so it was good because I got to talk to all these international people that were experiencing what they do. But at the learning symposium, because the format here this year is different, so they actually had these panels sit down and talk about in their areas of expertise. But I felt that they weren't really talking about things that are specific to Malaysia, because like there was this one Microsoft guy. He was just talking about Microsoft.
Oh, okay.
And then there was this other guy that was
pitch, right?
Yeah, and then I think that, and I was in one of the panels, and I think I think it would have been nicer if they had sort of like whatever their area of expertise is, just sort of pull it down to Malaysia, you know, because this is the IAP,
Malaysia,
and we are talking about moving Malaysia to a high income economy, you know. So I mean, because otherwise, then it's just another international conference. You know, so I didn't quite felt that I got much out of that learning symposium.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but
was it a particular symposium? There were two, right? Or you
there were two, yeah. So I was
along the same
well, I was
track?
in one. I was in the business model, so I don't know
model.
about the other one, but it was yeah.
Okay, so that's some feedback for MDEC, I guess, next year, to get the people they want to have on these panels and to be very focused, right, on a Malaysia-centric, you know.
But I got to
link.
speak, yeah. But I got to speak to them on a, you know, in an interview. So I mean, there were a lot of good things that they had to say about MSc, of course, and Malaysia.
Yeah, sure, yeah. How was the was there a big audience at the two symposiums? At least the one you attended, were people asking good questions?
They were good questions. I mean, there were questions. And like all panel discussions, you know, there's never enough time.
Yeah, okay.
So
that's good. At least there were lots of questions coming on board.
Yeah, it was a lot about, because Najib keeps talking. I mean, Dato Sri Najib. Sorry, he's not my friend.
Okay.
He
You're a long way from worrying about getting a dato-ship yet.
He keeps talking about this, you know, high income economy and how we have, and it's been in the news for like months already. And I mean, when I ask him about which areas we want to focus on, and he says it will be unveiled in the new economy model, you know. So and I felt a bit, it's like
still a work in progress.
Yeah, it's still a work. Yeah, do you exactly know where the areas you're going? But I guess the fact that this year they had less IAP members.
Definitely.
And they were in the areas of broadband. I think broadband was spoken about a lot. Najib also repeatedly said so in his about every single penetration, you know, how much it contributes to the GDP.
Oh, okay.
So
more pressure on Dato' Zam, you know, from Telecom now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we've been focusing on broadband for a long time already. So you know, it's just moving, you know, steaming ahead. I think creative content also got, you know, kind of a special mention. You know, I think
at the press conference, you mean?
Yeah, because I think he stated the number of MSc companies, and then he also stated the number of creative content companies. So I think that's probably one of the areas that he wants to look at. And and also in the budget they had allocations for green technology. So you know, maybe those are the areas that we should be expecting in the new economy model, I guess.
For us to focus on. Okay, good. Interesting enough, I had a conversation with Dato' Balisham, CEO of MDEC, yesterday, and he was saying that the word censorship never came up during the IP discussion, you know, which he found very healthy. So, you know, of course, there was some worry about our culture being, you know.
You mean there was censorship before in previous
I think
IP?
previously maybe the issue of censorship had come up during the IP discussion, but this year it was a non-issue at all, which is great. And just that some felt that our, you know, the Malaysian culture could be, you know, affected, you know, by the effect of, you know, internet and all that stuff. But it was, he felt it was very positive, you know, the discussion. People gave their pros and cons. And he's looking forward to, Balisham said, to get MSc Malaysia out, you know, into the population, general population, and see it affects people's lives. And seriously, you talk to Balisham about affecting people's lives via the MSc. He's really positive on the use of the MyCard, because he said, you know, that's the platform is already there, right? It touches all of us, you know, at least those of us who are 12 years old and above, and there's so many things that can be done. And Sham says there are 50 applications already on the MyCard. And he expects it to hit, you know, 500, you know, within a short period of time, which were 2 years or 3 years. So he's really excited about the use of the MyCard in enriching Malaysian lives.
Yeah, it's underutilized right now anyway. It's
exactly,
not really doing the things it was meant to be doing.
Yes. And with that, we leave you with that and wish you a great and productive week ahead with technology. We'll see you next week.